All right, I've been doing one of these for every set this year, and people seem to like it, so I'm going to continue doing it. We're going to talk about everything we know so far about Avatar: The Last Airbender, kind of what to expect from collecting it, and the breakdown of what the sets actually look like. So hopefully this will help you guys that are a little bit on the fence or maybe just curious about the product as a whole. But we're going to dive right into it, and this set is pretty simplistic because there is no commander attachment, supplemental attachment to it. So it's just TLA, which is the main set, and then TLE, which is the the secondary. They are Commander, Legacy, Vintage, Eternal, Legal stuff. And I believe that for this set, the TLE stuff are going to be primarily the Jumpstart cards, as well as maybe some of the bonus sheet stuff. So a couple of interesting notes to kind of get into as we look at this, and we're going to talk quickly about the MSRP. So this did go up for pre-order. It sold out extremely quickly for the collector booster boxes. I didn't have a chance to get one. I tried. They're going at absolutely, honestly, kind of disgusting rates right now. And I'm going to live check TCG Player here just to see if there's any updates, because I know people are probably wondering and waiting to get their hands on this. So looking at some of the pre-sale stuff, this is all kind of crazy, and how this all has shaken up. But I, again, never really utilized TCG Player for that, but let's look at the pricing just of the collector booster boxes. So they're pre-selling at around $900. That's what they're listed at right now. Now, the MSRP of these, if we just go based on regular math, should be somewhere around $400 and $450, which obviously, yes, is a lot, but certainly is more palatable if you're looking to buy collector boosters than this. We've only seen a very small handful of the set, but we're kind of seeing this same type of thing as we saw with Final Fantasy, going up as much as it did, and now Spider-Man. So the universe is beyond. It's definitely kicking people in the pants that actually want to be able to get some of these, but this is just a crazy price right now for these collector boosters. However, I will say that other stuff is still available on Amazon, Play Boosters, bundles. There were a couple other things. I pre-ordered one of each scene collection box. They're $41.99. That's MSRP, and that's what Amazon had them at, thankfully, so I was able to secure one of each of those. We don't know the scene promos yet, but I wanted to at least have something. Play Booster boxes, I believe, are around $210 on Amazon right now. So hopefully your LCSs and stuff will have them a little bit cheaper, but based on what I've heard, I don't know how likely that is to be the case. It does seem like there is going to be a premium on this, which, as much as I do like Universes Beyond, I do agree with the people who have complaints about this structure, because I do think it is completely absurd that the pricing is that high. So this is what MSRP is. If it helps you when you're looking for whether or not you get a good deal, whether or not you can pre-order these, if you're lucky enough to catch a drop. So it's $6.99 for Play Boosters. That is more than like Edge of Eternity's was, but we've kind of known that to be the case. Whether you like it or hate it, that just kind of is what it is. Collector Boosters, $37.99. Again, that would be a good price for these, I think, but what they're actually selling for is significantly higher. Jumpstart boosters are at $6.99. Now, we do know this Jumpstart set is going to have, new exclusive cards. The few we previewed actually look really good, so maybe there's some optimism there. I don't know. And then bundle at $70. The bundles are up on Amazon at $70, so that is a straight up what the MSRP is, at least if you wanted that. The Commander's bundle, which is essentially a gift bundle that's going to have some additional promo cards, probably a few Commander support cards, but it does have a collector booster. Those are $109. Similar to the Final Fantasy gift bundle, I don't expect these to just pop up everywhere. I was watching Best Buy drop them last night, and there was a queue, and they ended up selling out. I did not get a chance to get one, so unfortunate. But if anybody was successful, certainly let me know there. And beginner box, which is going to be like that Foundations beginner box, is $35. This is probably more geared towards new players, but it is smart. Whether or not it'll be worth it, we'll have to see what it looks like once we actually know. In terms of some noteworthy dates, so the spoiler season for this will start on October 28th. We've got a while out, so we probably won't talk too much about Avatar for a little bit here as the Spider-Man stuff starts to come up, but I just wanted to cover this. This will be on Arena in full on November 18th. And then we'll release November 21st, and of course there will be a spotlight series and stuff for it. So yeah, we've got a while to go before we get into these. These early vendor previews are more for the people who want to pre-order stuff, and who want to be able to get things at a reasonable price. Just double checking Amazon quick here. Yeah, $209 is the Play Booster boxes are still there. I think that's pretty steep. And it looks like all that's left here would be the Jumpstart box at 167. The Jumpstart box could, in theory, be decent. I don't think at that price, but I mean, depending on what the cards are that are in it, it could be decent. And the one thing to note is that on Amazon, if you do pre-order stuff and the prices do come up lower, you can cancel before that, or they will give you the lowest price. Amazon does not charge until they ship. So you do have some flexibility there. If you wanted to add this to your cart, secure one, and then wait and see if it goes down and get a better price for it, that's up to you and your personal budget, of course, but just wanted to establish that. So if you're a new player or getting into this because of Avatar, because of Magic, there are two different types of boosters. There's play boosters and collector boosters. Play boosters are the more general boosters. Collectors are, as the title suggests, more designed for collectors. They carry a very hefty premium, but they do have some of the fanciest versions of cards and special treatments and stuff. In some cases, when they are affordable, collector boosters can be a really good value. If you were able to get Final Fantasy collector boosters at retail price, you potentially did really well because there was a lot of value in them. However, that's easier said than done, especially with how quickly this stuff is flying off the shelves. And then, of course, we do have the scene boxes as well. Like I said, these come with some packs and some promos, and I think it's safe to assume that Avatar Aang will probably have some representation there, but whether or not it's just listed on scene boxes because you can pull it out of packs, or if it's actually going to be a promo there, we don't know that yet, right? Because we don't know the full scene box breakdown. So there are 4 different new bending mechanics, and we did cover this in detail, but there is the airbending, which requires exiling permanents, and then they can be cast for 2 at any time that they are able to be cast, as long as it remains exiled. So that's a really cool mechanic. And there is water bending, which is tapping creatures. It's kind of like Convoke, where you're tapping creatures to pay for partial costs, but in this case, you're tapping them to pay for waterbend costs. Not bad. I think airbending's a little stronger, but there might be some potential here. Earthbending allows you to target your lands and turn them into creatures with haste, but when they die, they come back as lands, which is pretty good. And then firebending, when it attacks, you get red mana, and then you don't lose it until the end of combat, so you can do some cool tricks there. I do like all of these mechanics. I think they're really, really well designed, and they feel like there was some coherency put into building this, which is nice, because as I've said before, I don't get that feeling out of Spider-Man, but we'll see whether or not, the rest of the set kind of lives up to that. And these are, of course, these are just your standard cards. So we have a borderless raised foil Avatar Aang. This will only be available in the collector boosters. This is going to likely be a headliner card that will be extremely scarce, probably less than 1%. So I definitely would say do not buy product specifically with the hope that you'll get this, especially if you're a new player, but it's obviously going to be worth a good bit if you do pull it. It's listed here, the Commander's Bundle, as well, because you do get a collector pack in there, so there is the possibility that you could find it in there. Just be aware that you're not guaranteed to get that in the collector bundle. I do like the card a lot. We have the borderless battle pose cards. These actually will come in neon ink, there are 5 of them in total, and they all look absolutely stellar. I don't mind the textless cards. I do kind of like them if it's not something they overdo, and I think in this case, these are just really, really beautiful representations of what some of Magic's best art design can do. These will also be exclusively to collector boosters in neon ink, and they will be very similar to the traveling chocobos from Final Fantasy, where they will be available in them. They're not serialized, but you will have the opportunity to pull them. They just will not appear very often. I would assume they'll appear a little more frequently than Aang, which is the headliner card, but probably not anything I would expect to see all that frequently. There are additional battle pose cards, but they don't have the neon ink. And so if you want to just get the regular ones, you may still have the chance to get those, which is certainly kind of cool. We've got some borderless sagas, which we know are coming out, which kind of fits. We've seen a lot of saga support lately, so this is not surprising. Field notes, that's another borderless treatment. These kind of remind me of the Bloomborough ones. I think it's actually very similar art style, so I like those. We've got elemental frames. These have some really, really beautiful, obviously different elements on the outside of the frame. I like these a ton. And some of the cards that we've seen, these have an anime style to them while not being fully in that direction. These will be available in everything, which is awesome. That's good. And then we've got the lands, the full art Appa lands. They look cool. I'm happy that we're just getting some cool lands, period. In terms of products that will be coming out, so there's the Play Booster box. Like I said, we have collector boosters. These are going to be the hot ticket item, but I don't think they're going to be super affordable. And then obviously it does talk about how you can get Avatar Aang in that special treatment, but it's very, very scarce. Jumpstart. Now, these are likely going to have reprints and new cards. There are 46 possible themes, and this is probably going to be more like Foundations Jumpstart, where it's you have a lot of new cards, but you also have some decent reprints. If it's not a crap Jumpstart like we saw with with, you know, some of the Lord of the Rings sets and stuff. But I think this is like a November thing where it's like we're going to release this with the November set, new players getting in. Jumpstart is a really fun format that is really good for new players, and we know there are going to be some decent cards in there. So it's nice to see that. Regular bundle, super cool dice. I don't hate the bundles, but I wish they had done what they did with Final Fantasy, where you could get extended art foils of certain things. It added a little bit more incentive to buy the bundle versus just like buying the packs if you wanted something to rip. But they decided not to do it here, so I wonder if these bundles will sell as well. I don't know. Commander bundle, like I said, this is basically a gift bundle. It's going to have a collector booster and 9 packs, plus a spin wheel for life, which is really cool. I'd love to have one of those. And then you get 5 non-foil promo cards, and 3 of them are going to be the same in each Commander bundle. My guess is that these are going to be some Commander staple cards, probably things like Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots, Soul Ring, etc. If that's the case, that would be really cool. We're going to have to obviously wait and see what that looks like. This is, again, going to be a very hot ticket product. I would not be surprised to see this just sell out everywhere, and you'll have to get lucky with drops when the set releases, I think. Scene boxes, like I said, come with 3 play boosters. They come with art cards and traditional foil. These are decent. I don't think they're the best value in the world, but it does kind of depend on the promos. Right now, this is something I grabbed just because it's really the only thing that I'm, was able to secure. But maybe prices will drop. And then, of course, the beginner boxes, they come with some Jumpstart half decks. They're designed to teach you how to play. They don't come with packs, so just be aware of that. Like, you're not getting like random, well, you might get random, but you're not getting, packs. And then, so just to be aware of the fact that you're probably not going to hit a lot of value out of these beginner boxes, but that's not really what they're meant for. They're meant to introduce new players. And then we got the pre-release packs. These, if they're anything like Final Fantasy, again, will probably be extremely hard to find, especially because they are themed. Hopefully your events, your locals and stuff will do pre-release events at somewhat fair prices. But, that's just one of those things that depends on your area. We're seeing an unfortunate, Pokemon type, not quite to that level, but Pokemon type bleed over into some Magic stuff right now, which is really unfortunate, but hopefully it's just a matter of, people, it's not something we see continuing. It's just, with Final Fantasy and other popular IPs. But I have to say, I really, really like this set from what we've seen so far. It looks extremely fun from a gameplay perspective, and that's the most important thing to me as a player. So I'm curious what everybody thinks, but yeah, this is just a general breakdown of what we know so far and the ins and outs of collecting. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, if you're excited for the set, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video.